Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Last day, best day. Very excited for today's session. If you're on with me live, say hello so I know. If you're watching the replay, drop replay. We are actually going to be turning this into a full video series. So if you wanted to go back and watch any of these sessions, we'll have them all on a landing page. They're also accessible through our YouTube channel. This way you don't have to kind of search through timelines or the group to be able to find it. But this particular topic is one that is near and dear to my heart. This is a practice that myself and my family have been doing for almost a decade now, and it has evolved each kind of year, and it is one part of four that I use for goal setting, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Good morning, Miss Jilly. Good morning, Mr. Sweeney. Nice to have you guys on here. I believe most businesses don't have problems. Most businesses have people who have personal problems who bring them into the business. I always tell my team, work harder on yourself than you do your job. This is actually something I've walked my team through, and it's something I highly recommend that you either do on your own, or if you have a significant other. I mean, my son Cruz at 3 years old did it last year. He did a very, different, smaller version of it, but he's going to be joining us again. And what I don't want to happen is, as a business owner and entrepreneur, you set all these goals, for your business, and you put your life, you put your personal aspirations on the back burner. And we got to take care of you first. We got to pour into that cup first. So I'm going to walk you through my family's goal setting process that we've been doing for about the last 10 years. Miss Jen says, I need this episode. I'm sure the problems with my school are due to personal baggage. Yeah, they typically are for most entrepreneurs. So I'm going to walk you through the full agenda with setting the stage, doing some reflection, looking back on memories, deciding what maybe removals, right? Sometimes it's not what we add into our life, but it's what we take away that can make all the difference. We'll set your intentions. I'll walk you through an overview of the goal setting packet, and then what you should do after you fill it out. So a couple of my favorite quotes: setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible, from Tony Robbins. And by recording your dreams and goals on paper, you set in motion the process of becoming the person you most want to be. Put your future in good hands, your own. I always tell my team on Friday, we host an all hands on deck, and typically at the end of the all hands on deck, I'll always tell them, do something this weekend that your future self will thank you for. And this process of filling out your 2025 personal roadmap is something that if you do, your future self will thank you for. So the wheel of life, I wanted to touch on this because I think when people set goals, they often overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate in what they can do in 3 to 5 years. And you can't fix everything all at the same time. And prior to kind of goal setting and looking at what you want for the year, I always recommend to people, if they haven't done the Wheel of Life in a while, to do this. And there's many different templates and versions of the Wheel of Life, but basically you have these different categories of your life, and you can change the categories, right? If you're maybe, not into spirituality and religion, then you could swap that out, right? Instead of intellectual, maybe it's like continued education or learning. But what you're supposed to do is go through each one of these categories and you rate yourself on a level of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest in terms of being fulfilled in that area, 1 being the lowest. And, let's say you start with career, and, maybe your career, you're right at this level. So what you would do is you put a line and then you'd color in the rest of that pie. And then, maybe financial, you go over, and maybe you're really happy with the financial aspect and you put a line and you color it in. But maybe spiritual, maybe, that's something that you've been, maybe ignoring or putting on the back burner. And maybe that's a little bit lower and it's down here. So you would put a line and you would color it in. Your physicality, maybe you've been meaning to go to the gym. Maybe you've been meaning to, eat a healthier, macro nutrition diet. And maybe this is down here. So you would color that in and you go through each one of these. And the ultimate goal would be to have alignment in all of these categories and not have such wide differences where maybe you're a 1 and a 2 in one category but you're a 9 or a 10 in another. And if you are a 1 or a 2 in some of these categories or lower, then what I would do is invite you to consider putting some goals around that specific area of your life. That doesn't mean you ignore the things that, you feel really fulfilled on, because you're probably doing things in your day to day that allow you to feel fulfilled in those areas. But this wheel of life is a really great exercise to do to maybe see where there's some imbalances in your life. Okay. So I want to kind of walk you through this personal roadmap. And there's, it's built very intentionally in the order that you do it. So I would not recommend that you skip around. So the first thing that we do up here is we set the stage. And man, environment plays such, an important role in our success in life. And my recommendation would be to do this somewhere where you really feel inspired, right? My family, we've done it when we've been on vacations. We've done it in our backyard. We've done it at a local park. We've done it on a boat in the middle of the ocean one year, because in Florida in December, you could be on the boat in the middle of the ocean because the weather's still so beautiful. And just really think about the environment that you're doing in. You could set the mood by putting on your favorite music, maybe lighting candles or incense. And like I said earlier, I would recommend getting the whole family involved. Really, the only thing you absolutely need to fill this out is this packet and a pen. But I do think for the post goal setting aspect, having a journal is really important. We'll talk about that when we get to post goal setting. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to reflect. I talk about The Gap and the Gain often. Really, really great book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And oftentimes, especially with ambitious people, we are constantly assessing where we're at now to this perfect reality that is never going to exist. And we call that being in the gap, because oftentimes when you compare from where you're at and where you ultimately want to be, it can kind of, be a little bit of a Debbie Downer for a lot of people, because they feel like they have so much to catch up on. But if we look backwards to how far we came from where we started to where we're at now, that's called being in the game. And before we set goals, I think it's really important to be intentional about reflection. People think you learn by experience. You do not learn by experience. You learn through evaluated experience. So you're just going to ask yourself, what am I grateful for that occurred in the last year? What did I accomplish? What were the biggest lessons learned? And on this, in this packet, you have areas to write all of this down in here. So you can actually do it right in the packet, or you can do it in your journal. But you're just going to list out everything you accomplished, big or small, then everything that you were really grateful for, and then write the major lessons that you learned. It's really important to take what we've learned and use our experience to make the next year better. Okay, so that is the first aspect of reflection. The next one, and this is one of my favorites of this, especially when you do it with your family, is you're going to ask yourself, if you could replay some of the experiences or memories of the year, what would they be? Who were they with? How did they make you feel? And you're going to write down your top memories and exactly how they made you feel. And this is something that once we go through one section and we take some time and write it out, we go around in my family and we share it. And I think that's a really powerful aspect of doing this activity together. And when you go around and you listen to everybody's top memories, really cool when there are what I like to call green tails, where you see kind of, patterns in what those memories are. And, you can also, if you had such great experiences that year, then figure out how you can recreate those experiences in the next year. So if you could replay some of those experiences and memories, what would they be? And you're just going to write them down. Okay. So that is the next step. Then we're going to go on to removals and non-negotiables. And you're just going to ask yourself, what are you completely and utterly done with? Like, what do you not want to spend your time and energy on? Is there someone or something you need to remove from your life? Do you have a non-negotiable that you want to implement in the new year? And you're going to write down everything that you are not going to do for the next year or that you're going to make a non-negotiable. I walked one of my very first clients, Guy and Rob Pendergrass, through this activity back in 2017. And both of them, one of their non-negotiables is they were going to get a massage every single month. And I kid you not, till this day, they get a massage every single month. So think about the things that you want to remove or non-negotiables that you want to add in. Okay. The next step is we're going to set our intention. So with the gratitude, achievements, lessons, and memories from this year, what is the intention I want to set in the new year? Is there a word or a phrase that can help you guide your actions? And you're just going to figure out what is next year's theme. We do this internally in the business. And for GrowPro, we landed on the word optimize. We're not trying to add anything new per se. We're just trying to make what we're already doing even better through optimization. So you're going to set your intention for yourself with a phrase or a word for the year. Okay. Next up, there's a little bit of an overview. So we're going to set our goals in different categories of our life. And really setting the goal, I think we all know this, is the first step. And one of the mistakes that I used to make when I first started doing this and when I was teaching my family is that we set way too many goals in each area. We'd have like 5 family goals, 5 growth goals, 5 finance goals. And what I would recommend is choosing 1 to 2 of the top goals that you want to achieve in each one of these categories. And it's just because, like I said earlier, we often overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 3 to 5 years. Okay. Now, that's just the first step, is writing down the goal. The next part of it, and this is the most important part right here, once you have chosen the goal, you write it in. But then next to the goal, you need to write in the daily, weekly, or monthly habits or actions that you need to implement in order to achieve this goal, right? So let's say you set an example. An example here is, let's say you set a growth goal, right? And the goal was to read 24 books in a year. So 2 books a year. Well, the habit would need to be, well, when are you going to read those books to ensure that you don't miss it? And maybe for you, that would be in the morning. So you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. and read from 5:15 to 5:45 each weekday. And if you do that, it would literally be impossible for you not to hit your goal. So you want to ask yourself, what are the daily actions or habits or weekly actions or habits that you need to do in order to be able to say it's literally going to be impossible if I don't hit that goal? And that second step of writing in the habits will make or break whether or not you achieve your goals. Okay. So we start with family goals and we ask, have we been spending enough time with family? Is it quality time? What family vacations do we want to go on? I think this one's important for school owners. How many nights a week are we going to eat dinner together? Right. That was like a really big thing for us because my wife and I, we owned the school. Our sons worked in the school, and, you're during dinner time, you're out on the mat. Right. So it was really important for us that, Saturday night, Sunday night, that we had that time to eat dinner at the table. Right. How often will you go out on date nights? When do I schedule time individually with each member? These questions are there just to, start getting your brain going on some different ideas. But discuss these questions and then set a game plan. And maybe it's we're going to do 1 game night per week. Maybe it's we're going to do 2 date nights per month. Maybe it's a quarterly family vacation. But you're going to ask yourself, what are the family goals? And then what is the habit that we need to implement in order to reach that goal? Okay. Then we're going to move on to growth goals. And we're just going to ask personally, how do we want to grow mentally in the new year? It could be through books that you're reading. It could be through courses or seminars you want to go to, or maybe there's a new podcast you heard about. It could be leveling up your morning routine or implementing an evening routine. So you're going to set some goals around growth. Okay. The next part is finance. You can ask questions like, how much do you want to earn? Is it time to start considering multiple streams of income? How much do you want to save? Is there debt that you have to pay off? Is there a certain amount that you want to invest? Maybe you want to start putting into a 401k or a Roth RIA. IRA. And then can we lower expenses? Are there any maybe major purchases that we need to make this year? Maybe you got to get a new roof on your house, right? So you're going to write down what your financial goals are for the year. And then next to it, what are the habits to ensure that you will achieve them? Okay. Guys, if you're watching live, drop me a comment. Let me know. Say hello, please. All right. Next up is fitness. Personally, how do I want to grow physically in the year? Where's your nutrition at? Where's your cardiovascular health at? And I think a big one is, what does your sleep look like? If sleep is off, man, everything is going to be off, right? So what are you going to commit to in the new year? So write in your fitness and nutritional goals for the new year, okay? Next up is relationships. They say we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And have you been spending time with people that are positive and that lift you up? Are there people that you want to spend more time with? Maybe there's people you want to spend less time with. Maybe there's certain relationships that you want to nurture, or there's mentors you want to seek out. So you're going to write in your relationship goals for the year, okay? Next up is lifestyle. This is the fun stuff. Like, what activities make me really happy? Are there bucket list items we can cross off the year? An adventure. Maybe it's just like an ideal lifestyle that I want to create in terms of changing, my work hours. Maybe there's just places that we want to travel to. Or, maybe you heard pickleball is really fun and you want to take up pickleball. So write out what you want to do that excites you. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Love to see you guys. Awesome. And then spiritual. Are you a spiritual or religious person? Does your family attend church each week? Are you part of a spiritual group that meets? Do you use meditation to align your spiritual goals? And if you don't consider yourself spiritual, maybe there are some affirmations that you can write down that you'll tell yourself to help you accomplish your goals. Maybe there's breath work that you can do. So then you're going to write in your spiritual goals, okay? The last area is going to be business and work. And if you're an entrepreneur, how much revenue is my business going to bring in? Are there new hires we need to consider? If you're a team member, what kind of career growth do you want to accomplish this year? Is there a skill set that you can learn that can help you become more valuable? So you're going to write in your top 1 to 2 business or work goals, okay? And that's where kind of the activity, like the actual filling in of this this personal roadmap ends. But unfortunately, for most people that do write goals down, they don't revisit it. And I did a training yesterday for our Maya clients, the roadmap the roadmap achievement system that kind of walks them through in a very detailed way of setting one big intentional goal and the steps you can go through to choose it or to hit it. And one of the things we talked about was vision boards. And I've been a huge fan of vision boards. I've been using them since back in 2010. It really is super cool to see your vision board come to life. And all a vision board is just a visualization tool that will allow you to picture yourself accomplishing your goals. And it's often just like a poster board that has a collage of words or pictures that represent your goals and your dreams. And I highly recommend you do this. It's a really fun family activity. You can use magazines, but what I prefer to do is just to go on Google and search the item or print the word out. And then you glue it on this poster board. And you want to make sure that the poster board is in a place that you are going to see it consistently. So for example, mine is in my closet because I know I'm at least going to be in my closet twice a day, if not more, when I go in the morning and when I, getting ready for bed. And I think having this, vision board is just a great reminder of what you are working towards. And on those days where you might not, feel like doing something, it can help that discipline kick in. Okay. The next part of this is, like I said earlier, one of the biggest mistakes people make after they write their goals is they just don't revisit them. And what I would do is I would transfer all of the goals inside of this personal roadmap to somewhere where you're going to look at it often, whether that's a journal for some people. I actually keep it in the notes section of my phone. So I know I'm pretty much always going to have my phone on me. So I have the ability to continue to look at the goals, but we have to make sure the goals are front and center. So not only do I keep it on my phone, but I also have this journal on my desk as well. And inside of the journal, I write down gratitude at the top. And then I also write down my main goals, but I write it as though I have already accomplished it. And that is really important. So, like, if your goal was to lose 20 pounds and, maybe you're 170 and you want to weigh 150, in the journal, you would write, I weigh 150 pounds. You write it as though you've already accomplished it and time just has not caught up yet. I'm a huge fan of journaling. I do go through like certain chapters where I'll be super, super consistent with it, and then I'll stop for a little bit, and then I go back to the practice. But having it here on my desk in front of me every time I'm sitting, it's just a great reminder to revisit those goals. But I think the absolute best place to have it is in your phone because you'll always have that. Okay. The final part, right? We plan the work, then we got to work the plan. And this is really the first step in becoming the person that you want to be. My life infinitely changed for the better when I started practicing the art of writing things down. And it's such a basic and fundamental strategy, but it's one that not a lot of people do. And I would encourage you to not only go through this process, but to continue to look at your goals and write them down because no one becomes successful by wishing, only by doing. Okay. So and like I said, inside of this packet, you have these areas where you can write in your goals. But if you just wanted to do it on a sheet of paper or a notebook or a journal, you absolutely could. And that's my giveaway to you. I do this every year, and I'm going to drop the link in the comments for you because your action step is to fill out your 2025 personal roadmap. And I do believe that doing this, as a family with, the people that you love is really great for accountability. And it's also a really good opportunity to learn more about, what lights them up and how you can help them accomplish those goals in the future. So that is my gift to you, the 2025 personal roadmap. My challenge to you, fill it out, get it done, and make sure you do the post-goal writing steps of the vision board, journaling, putting those goals in a place that you're going to see it. The time is going to pass. A year from now, if we do the 12 days of Christmas again, we'll be here, and you ultimately have the decision to make. Are you going to be closer to accomplishing those goals, or are you going to be further away? But it starts with this, all right? And if anybody has any questions on how to fill this out or what to do, feel free to reach out to me. This is our last day in office at GrowPro. The team will be work from home. We're closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll be back online on Friday. If you need us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and I appreciate all of you that have been showing up every day, to be a part of these. You're welcome, Mr. Levy. Very, very welcome, sir. I'm glad to see you on here. All right. And like I said, I'll drop the link in the comments for you guys so you can grab it. It's a Canva file. So I'm giving you the editable template. So if you wanted to edit some things out, you absolutely could do that and make it your own. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all the happy holidays. And thank you so much, guys. It's been an awesome 12 days of Christmas. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.